We interrupt this public affairs program to bring you a football game.
Liverpool lose 4-0 to Man City in the FA Cup. Bad defeat, obviously. Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick, and Liverpool now have to pick themselves back up. Oh, to go into a, well, scary game against PSG in the Champions League. Welcome to Kop That. I'm Chris, and this is your calm-ish, friendly-ish, no drama, no agenda, no bullshit look at the games, including one that hasn't happened yet. Maybe two that haven't happened yet. Let's get into the one that has happened. So it's been pretty well documented that Liverpool actually started this game really well and were the better team for the most part, including outside of the two penalties in the game. Mo Salah had the best chance of the entire game. He did in the first half, and this is another game where I've been harping on about it for ages. We just don't take our chances. We'd have taken just a few chances here and there throughout the season. There'd be so much less moaning, and everybody else doing the crying and stuff like that. They'd just be shut up immediately. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and quickly have a look through this, because it does actually tell a story. When you look at, obviously, the possessions, like pretty even shots on target, not far apart. Big chances missed. You'll see that as a theme through Liverpool's season, because at least one of those was while it was 0-0. And we're just not clinical enough. Composure's gone. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Salah, whether it's anybody else. Oh, God. Anyway, we scroll down. This is just the attacking portion of it. And the one thing that I want to look at here is, obviously, there's the big chances missed, the 3 shots blocked as well on top of that. But there's touches in the opposition box. It's not like we're not getting in dangerous positions either. Like 4-0 punishes for errors. 4-0 was not even including that 20-minute window when Liverpool were just... I mean, even at times during that 20-minute window, they weren't horrendous, but they were bad. I personally think conceding the first one was bad, but the second one is what killed it off. If you just don't concede that second one before half-time, I think it's different. But they come out straight away with the intention of killing the game, and they do. And Liverpool, for all of these numbers down the right, we're just not lethal enough. We need a fully fit Alexander Isak. We need a goal scorer. Because this shit doesn't happen with that. I've skipped defensive and passing because they're all kind of pretty even-ish across the board. City made more clearances and things like that, but like, this is the one I wanted to look at. It's the duels. Look at the duels won. Success rate. Ground duels won. Ground duels success, which I'm assuming is the same thing. Aerial duels won. Aerial duel success. Attempted and successful dribbles. And dribble success. All of this, apart from attempting more dribbles, we come out on the losing side of all of this. So even with this, we're still creating and stuff like that, but duels have cost us games in the past, and they've done it again yesterday, because some of our worst aspects of this were during that window when City were banging goals in, and a little bit after, before they just went to 4-0, we'll just let Liverpool have the ball. And so when you see things like this, you understand the comments after the game from Szoboszlai and Van Dijk was saying maybe we did give up a little bit, which is like, fucking hell, he gave up early in a game, even when it's 3-0. He gave up early, or the team gave up early. Then the fans gave up even earlier, such as the heart of the team. But the scoreline itself, right? It happens, and it's the FA Cup. Out of like the FA Cup, Champions League and League, that if you're going to lose one, it's going to be that one. It's that manner of going 1 goal down when you're on top. You're the better team. You're knocking at the door. You've had a couple of decent chances. Stupid mistake. Individual error in the area. And like the other goals, there's just somebody like there's Gravenberch not following his. I think it was Gravenberch not following his man, not handing him over, and clean through onside, and it's just individual fucking things. Like, do you know when that penalty got given after us playing really well? Actually, much better than the league game there. Even with the 4-0 overall, it was better than that fucking league game. That league game was not good at all. But when that penalty got given, like, it went fully. I went fully into sympathy for Slot. I felt sorry for him a few times this season because he's getting more flack than he actually deserves. Obviously, people don't fucking understand anything these days. But I felt really bad for him. And like he's turned up with that attacking formation which he's been using or tried to use recently, and because it worked against Galatasaray, it could have worked against Brighton, but obviously we had Salah, who for all his chances being missed still causes problems up front, and Ekatike went off early, didn't he? So we had like no cutting edge at all up front. Could have done a job against Brighton, but it didn't. But he turned up again. He played probably the best team he could, and he played well. And then the players, not the manager, the players just fucked up and then caved. I understand when people say the manager's supposed to inspire, and you have to a degree, but it's more about focus than it is inspiration. It's not just pure fucking just go for it. It's handy when you're chasing something or you're deciding whether or not to go in for a tackle or something like that. But that can come from the crowd as well. Everybody blames the manager for it, and he was in the crowd and not doing it. Shut up. It's more about focus than it is about anything else, and players are just forgetting to hand a man over, sticking a foot in where they don't need to. Experienced players as well. I'm not even talking about one of the younger ones. Experienced players like Van Dijk just throwing a fucking foot. He didn't need to make that tackle. That changed the fucking game. That affected their own mentality. It's literally shooting yourself in the foot. You know that if you're playing well, you're creating chances. If it gets to half time and it's 0-0, whatever, you've got a lot of positives to take into the second half. But if you can get a half decent result in that game, you lift a bit because it's a big game against a big team. There's a couple of players who just seem to be hell bent on shooting themselves in the foot. And I'm starting to hear conversations now, finally, because the players have come out. And Van Dijk even said, listen, we let ourselves down, we let the fans down, we let the manager down. Players can admit it, why can't the fans? They're just doing it to themselves. And finally, players are starting to be, one, they're actually holding themselves to account, but two, they're starting to be held to account online, but people aren't connecting the dots. They're shifting from a manager who is apparently, and I'm going to mention this again because I'm still seeing comments like this, who is clueless and out of his depth. You know, a manager that's won leagues in 2 different countries. Like, if he's clueless and out of his depth, what are you? There's people saying that, who I've seen people say that and blame the players. And then I've seen people who's like, maybe it's a mix of the two, who still get the manager out. It's his fault. It's like the dots are right in front of you, but you can't join them. I'm going to move on from this game pretty quickly because, like I said, I was over this quicker than I think a lot of people were. Just because, like, if it was a league game, I'd be still in my rage right now. But just because it was the FA Cup, City have got a phenomenal record in the FA Cup anyway. City's 18th consecutive home win. in the FA Cup, which beats a record that goes back to, when was it? Between 1873 and 1881, and Clapham Rovers won 17. And the more staggering one is they've won 32 FA Cup games in a row if you take out the Wembley games. So yes, statistically this game is just another one for them, but we can't take that into account, obviously. We've got, I mean, on paper, the Fulham game in the league is bigger than this. But it's what this does to the team mentally, because it's put it on full display now. Like, it's been on display and everything, but they're actually coming out and saying it themselves, the players. I hope they go into Wednesday absolutely enraged. When it comes to the supporters, I have no idea what any of these fucking arseholes, the loud ones, I don't know what they'd be happy with if Liverpool turned up, play fast attacking football, but lose 5-0. Would you be happy? We know what our problems are. Individual errors at the back. Can't finish up front. They could be the issues for the next few games. I don't think we're going to be able to sit back like we did. Also remember Alisson, his performance on the away leg against PSG last season. Nunes came on to change the game. That day took 4 PSG defenders out, laid it off to Harvey Elliott, scored a winner. Neither of them are here. Like, Nunes was actually a game changer, and he's not here. They haven't got that plan B. They've barely got a fully fit plan A, in all honesty. Like, it's clear that the balance is still off, and some players are aging out. Like Gomez, and for all my criticism of him over the years, and I feel like it's been fair, has probably been our most consistent defender all season, and that to me speaks volumes as a critic of his. But he's done well when needed, but he can't. He hasn't got the fitness to cover everyone's fucking ass all the time. We need to get something done in the. I know we've got like Xhake's coming in. Obviously Leone's going to be fit again at some point. Like centre backs, we've got cover coming. Young and inexperienced, but cover nonetheless. Right back still an issue, depending on what happens with Robertson. Left back could still be an issue. But that was just need a little bit more balance to tilt it slightly more in our favour. We're missing a goal scorer so much, because Isak was bought to be the goal scorer. We weren't expecting Salah to drop off the way he did in terms of his numbers, but Isak was meant to be that right there goal scorer. Ekitike is more one for the future. Like next season he'll be even better. Wirtz next season will be even better. Frimpong next season will be even better. It'll just be young. Rio, even though we never bought him, obviously he's come in. He's going to be even better. These were bought with the future in mind. But we've had more than enough to stop games like this happening, or to stop score lines like this happening. I mean, yeah, that semi-final not being there now is probably helpful, given that there's no way in hell it wouldn't have landed between two big games. But it means now that we're down to the Champions League, and it leaves me wondering, is it better to go out of the Champions League now, put all of your effort into qualifying for it again, and then going into it with a more balanced squad next summer, aiming high? Because this is the transition part, and this is the difficulty of a transition season. Because I remember when Klopp took over, it was like October, I think, in 2015. It was like October, and we were like 10th. We were 10th or 11th. But we were only like 3-4 points or whatever off 4th. Like, we weren't miles away. It was only October. And then we ended up finishing like 8th, even further away. But at the end of that season, he hadn't started like building his squad yet. So like the next 2-3 seasons, I think they were 4th place finishes and then something or other. think that might have been second after that, while he was putting his squad together. At the end of that season, like if everyone remembers this, I'll be amazed. The end of that season, he started resting players in the league when he realised it was really out of reach to get the Champions League places. He started resting players in the league to go after the Europa League, because obviously if you win the Europa League, it's automatic qualification for the Champions League. And he started doing that. It wasn't throwing games, but he saw the Europa League games as bigger. I'm in a position now where I don't know if it's better for our qualification next season to just try in these PSG games, but not really be that arsed about it, and put more into qualifying for next season, because that is really the priority. As nice as it'd be to actually exact some revenge on PSG from last season, because that Anfield game last season, I felt like we were way better than them. Well, not way better than them, but we were better than them. So, like, I'm wondering about that now. Do you just go with the priority, given how the players have been? They still have to try regardless. But it's how is it framed if it goes wrong? And maybe it's more of a bold move to just save players for the weekend. Maybe give Rio a little bit of big European experience. I don't know. I can't predict what's going to happen, because I can't predict what Liverpool's going to turn up. They generally play better in big games, even against City. Like, they play better. And it was just one little window of fucking errors. It was really annoying. It was really annoying. But we've got PSG. Oh, wait there. Let me just run through the next few fixtures here, because it's kind of PSG away, Fulham at home on Saturday, obviously, then PSG at home. That's our next 3 games. But after that, Everton away, Palace, who we just struggle like fuck against these days, Man United, who could ruin my birthday because my birthday's 2 days after that. Man United away, Chelsea at home, Villa away, and Brentford at home. Now, there's an upside and a downside to this. That's a difficult run of fixtures towards that end of the season, because they're all in and around us. The positive is it puts it all in our hands and we're not relying on other people. I'm going to remain optimistic, because it is in our hands, and it's one game on one day. Even if someone's behind you and you're playing them, if you stop them gaining on you, that's something. Even a draw is something. And Chelsea haven't been exactly impressive this season. Obviously, they're behind us. United, the shine's kind of wore off. Like, their new manager bounce lasted about fucking 3 games, but they're still grinding out results, and you can't argue with that. But I feel like they're doable, even at Old Trafford. And Villa obviously have been, especially in the second half of the season, have been really inconsistent. So given that the semi-finals of the Champions League will be planted somewhere in the middle of all that, would I be gutted if we went out to PSG? I'd be disappointed, because obviously you want the semi-final, you want the big games, and you want the final. But if that didn't happen, how disappointed would I be? It's a really weird season, isn't it? I could be worse, couldn't I? I could be one of those fucking clowns, actually wishing that Liverpool would lose to get your manager sacked. Speaking of which, our supporters have surpassed even their own pathetic, toxic fuckery at this weekend. They've been miserable as fuck since like October. It's been a tough watch, I know that. But they've done nothing to lift the team up. We've had a few games with a good crowd, and the team's responded. But once again, about them dots not joining. They spent more time booing the team, leaving early. Generally putting even more of a down out on something that's already shaping up to be a bad day. But they were leaving the Etihad, and there was a group singing Xabi Alonso's name, and I'm putting him to one side for a minute because, like, obviously I love Xabi Alonso just in general. To be doing that when you've been awful all season, and you can point to, we've been travelling, we're still selling out the end, we're still selling out Anfield, we're still doing this, we're still doing that. That's getting to the game. That's the Liverpool team. Might as well have just said, well, we turned up with the Etihad. That's what happens when the whistle blows. Now, the away fans, to be fair, have been the better of the fans all season. Generally turning up, singing away and stuff like that, but they too have collapsed. They collapse before the team does most of the time. But the home fans, we're going to need them. We're going to need them every bit as much against Fulham as we're going to need them against PSG. But I'm willing to bet, and I could be wrong, please prove me wrong, I'm begging you. I'm willing to bet the atmosphere at the Fulham game is going to be shite. And that's more of an educated guess than anything else. But, you know, maybe the fans will be up for it. Maybe they know the manager's not going anywhere till the end of the season, unless things go spectacularly bad. Like we could get battered against PSG and he goes. But maybe they think, let's just try and lift us towards the end of the season. Maybe. But given that I'm talking about a bunch of people who multiple times this season have either walked out on or booed their own team, saying you'll never walk alone, and then let the manager and a bunch of players walk alone. Me hopes aren't high in that regard. I'm just hoping the players can drag their asses up, because this is the business end of the season. This is usually where Liverpool actually do the good stuff. We've normally started it by now. I'll just put that out there. But this is usually where we're doing our best stuff. And I'm hoping, as players start to come back from injury a little bit, I'm just hoping we keep everyone fit and just swing away, just fight. None of this giving up stuff. Don't even worry about goal difference. Just fight. Just try and outscore the other team. Go some full on, like Klopp's last season or whatever, just like Klopp mayhem. Just fucking, just go to outscore the other team. I'd actually be happy with that. Because again, I pointed this out multiple times. It's not just Liverpool this season. The Premier League has just been fucking awful. And maybe we could just bring some mayhem to the end of it. Punk as fuck, right? I took a couple of days, right, for a couple of reasons. So I've got to apologise first of all for this being late. It's normally the day after the game, but I wanted one the day after to kind of see which of the same bullshit, clickbait, rage bait content creators, what they were, how deep they were going into their rage bait, how much they've been stirring up. By the way, these people are influencers. Content creators was like, that became like a side or like a smaller category. The overall arch of it is influencers, and that seems to have got lost in some of the language used around social media. Always question that if somebody's making money from engagement, question what they're putting out there for engagement. Because if you get sucked along into it, then you look like an idiot. Because they'll post for ages. New managers coming in, manager's about to get sacked, he's waiting in the wings. None of it's happened. None of it's even been close. But yeah, definitely turn up and tell them what you think in the comments. Because they definitely read them all. They've definitely got the time, considering they're putting out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos out a day. Oh, God. So I'm just going to put that last one out there again because I feel like I have to keep saying it. Think before you speak. Think before you type. Think before you press send. Plenty of opportunities to think before words come out. Oh, God. And try and help your team instead of fucking dicking them over and kicking them when they're down. Top supporters. 12th man. My ass. Anyway, let's hope for a better week. I'm completely off. I don't want to end on a negative. We'll hope for a better week. I'll try and get a player ratings out. But either way, the next episode of this will be Thursday. Hopefully a little bit more complete, because this is kind of in between the two games at the minute. Normally go a little bit more in depth into the game that's just happened. But yeah, the next episode of this will be Thursday. And hopefully I'll have a great big fucking smile on my face. Until then, try and lift your team. Support them. And up the Reds. And slot in.